Hello everyone and welcome back guys to the finale of the LCR Formula 4 series, where today we're here back at Brands Hatch for the final race of the championship. And a little bit of an apologies in this one. This is actually the first time I used my new Elgato, so there is accidentally my voice in the background, so hopefully, you know, the volume will be set pretty low, so hopefully you can't hear it all too much there. But yeah, a bit of a mistake on my end. But yeah, unfortunately, that also meant that the car volume was very, very low as well. But coming into this round, though, the finale of the championship, we came into this final round with a 42-point lead over my main rival and teammate CK in the championship here. So, I mean, there's what, 46 points available, if I'm not mistaken here. So CK basically had to win and get pole and everything like that. So hopefully, you know, if we got pole position, that would be it. That would be the title wrapped up for us. And obviously that was going to be the most important aim over the course of this evening. Basically, you know, the main aim was just not to disconnect in either of, you know, both of the races. And then hopefully that should be enough for the title as we head through towards the end of my fastest qualifying lap. You can see we're marginally up on my previous best here. It's currently actually Wastel on the pole with a 128.859 here as we head down in towards the penultimate corner of the lap, though. It has been a fairly tidy one. What is the split time going to be? We're going to be near enough 3/10 up over my previous lap as we head down in towards the final corner there. Wastel still on the pole. CK is going to come through the final turn, though, and move up into provisional pole. There are 28.715 there, but over the line we're going to set a 128.655 there, which means obviously that, depending on obviously if Wastel does improve, definitely means that CK has not got pole position there as well. Obviously we now just wait for the final couple of drivers to come through there, and I can confirm Wastel didn't actually improve there, so three of us separated by 1/4 of a second in the end, but it would be pole position which would ultimately be enough for the title there. So that is that wrapped up, that is that sorted, and now we can just hopefully enjoy these final couple of rounds here at Brands Hatch there. CK in second, Wastel third ahead of Typhon, Apex and Gods rounding out the starting order here. But we are ready though on the grid for the first race of the night. 22 laps ahead of us around the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit here, and is it going to be lights out and away we go. They're a little bit, you know, very, very close on the start there, but I think we've got a good run down in towards turn 1. They're trying to keep it nice and tidy as best as possible through the first couple of corners here. And CK, now the title was all wrapped up, you know, he was just racing for pride at the moment there. And, you know, he made a couple of hints that perhaps some lunges are going to come in tonight, anything like that. But we shall wait and see. Obviously, now we've wrapped up both titles, you know, there's nothing, obviously there's mainly pride to be playing for in the final couple of races of the championship here. But through the first couple of corners, though, we did keep it nice and tidy there. That was the most important thing. And now we just need to try and build up a little bit of a margin over the rest of the field here. Both Wastel and CK were looking very, very quick, as well as Typhon in the final week's worth of racing here. And it's been a bit weird, obviously, as we've seen a lot more drivers sort of get used to the car, get used to Forza a bit more, everything like that. We've definitely seen everyone bunch up quite a bit as well in terms of pace here as we head through Sector 2, you know, around the back half of this opening lap there. And yeah, over the next couple of laps, though, we would slowly build up a little bit of a margin over the rest of the field here, about a 4-second margin over CK, until we only just skim a wheel out onto the grass there, and we just get sucked out onto the grass and into the gravel trap there. And that's going to mean CK is going to be able to, you can just see how much he's gaining on me as we head down in towards T1 there. We lost so much time in that situation there, you know, sort of a good 4 seconds to him. And that meant, you know, we were going to be under pressure once again here, as we're pretty much now at the halfway stage of this race here as we head down the hill off the exit of the first couple of corners here. A lot of tyres being thrown up around the circuit as well. Not too sure what's happened there. So still getting a little bit loose there. Run very, very wide out over the grass there. And that's going to allow CK up the inside. A bit of contact as we lose the back end trying to rejoin there. Even more contact between the powers there. But I think it was just Forza physics making its wonderful return in LCR Formula 4. It's definitely notorious in the open wheelers, especially here on Forza. But yeah, CK now moves up into the lead of the race, though, so we need to try and close back up that gap to him and see if we can still try and fight for this race victory here. A couple of small mistakes in the early stages, you know, especially after the opening couple of laps where we built up quite a good little advantage. Yeah, it was definitely a little bit odd that we started to make mistakes about halfway through, but Brands Hatch is not a track that I get on particularly well with on this game, though. Lap 12, CK dives into the pits for his one and hopefully only stop of the race there. It looked like it was basically myself and him as well as Apex that had gone quite long in the first stint of the race here. And, we were just trying to whip out the undercut the overcut even, I should say, if we could over CK as well here. Actually blipping the car down into first gear accidentally there, and that is not what we needed as we head down the hill here. So we're going to try and stay out for a couple of extra laps, still making even more mistakes. What is happening here? We're having an absolute meltdown as we head back out of the first couple of, sort of through the first complex there. You can see Apex has come back out in P2 there. CK just behind him in P3 there, so that could certainly make it interesting depending on how Apex plays this race as well here. But yeah, over the next couple of laps though, after those small mistakes, we would just be trying to focus and get back into a bit of a rhythm here once more in this race. And by the end of the lap 16, like I said, with 6 laps to go, we will be diving in for our one and hopefully only pit stop of the evening there. Okay, run into the pit lane. You can usually get away with, sort of being a little bit cheeky with the arm cut barriers there, and a nice early pit stall ready for this one. So that's quite ideal for us as well. That works out quite nicely because that means it's a bit weird. Sometimes that gives you a quicker pit lane on Forza. It's, very, very odd at the end of the day. But you can see CK, though, coming down in towards the final couple of corners there. It's going to be very, very close as we head out of the pit lane here. But it's still such a long run down towards T1 there. It's such a long pit lane around this circuit there. There comes CK around the outside there, and he is still in the lead of the race. And we've not really... I think, to be honest, we've actually lost a bit of time to him over the pit stop window here. So 6 laps to go. We're on cold tyres as well. Can we close back up that gap over the next couple of laps here? We will have to wait and see, because at the moment, CK's got about a 2-second margin over ourselves here. So hopefully we can try and close this back up once again. It's never too late. As you can see now, a couple of laps to go here. We had been able to close down that margin to CK here, and now we were starting to get involved in a little bit of a battle once again here. Down in towards turn 1, round the outside perhaps. No, CK just taking a lot of grass actually through turn 1 there. That's going to open up a move around the outside. He tries to give us a bit of a squeeze there. Once again, getting Forza physicked together once more here. And very on the edge, I think is probably the right way to describe it at the moment there. Because, the open wheelers can be very, very unpredictable here. Gods Among Us, or VN3 Rosenquist, whatever you want to call it, making a bit of a mistake there. Luckily for us, he did ghost in that situation, so we don't need to worry about that as we head through the next couple of corners. Coming out on to the back straight there. CK hasn't had the run of the exit of the corner there, and we're going to be side by side as we head down the straight. But nope, CK has unfortunately disconnected there, and it was looking like it was going to be quite a tasty little battle through the final couple of laps of this race there. So not quite the end to the first race that I'm sure either of us wanted there, but it was definitely going to be a good little battle towards the end there. And unfortunately for CK, luckily, obviously no championship permutations with that. Obviously that would have been a bit more gutting, if he disconnected and, the title battle was still on the line, everything like that. But through the final couple of corners we go, though, and it is going to be the race victory in the first race of the night there. So far it's been pole position and also the first race win there. We didn't actually get fastest lap this time around. It was CK who claimed that the fastest lap there, a 128.066 there. A very, very quick lap by him there. And you can see we were on a 128.2, but it is Wastel who comes through for P2 there. Had a Typhon and Apex there with Rosenquist rounding out the finishes there. And unfortunately for CK, the disconnect. Luckily, though, he had P2 guaranteed as well as, like I said, no championship permutations with that one here. But we have got one final race to go then in the LCR Formula 4 series here. The final sprint race of the championship here. And really, it's been quite a good fun series on the whole once again here. And like I said, happy to take home the title, but obviously some really, really good racing as well throughout this championship. But we are ready, though, on the grid for the final time, and hopefully it is going to be lights out in just a moment here. When is it going to be? It's lights out, and away we go there. Wastel responding, definitely at least with cat-like reactions as we head down in towards T1 there. But coming through the first couple of corners here, CK obviously with that disconnect is going to be starting on the pole here. We get up the inside of Apex through turn 1 there, and actually Gods Among Us is going to completely lunge CK out wide there through the first couple of corners. He takes the lead back again in this race. There's even more contact going on the outside there, and Gods were just going to give him the room on the inside there, try to go for the switchback on the exit of the corner there, and that's exactly what we've done. And we've now gone from 6th to 2nd inside the opening 3 corners here of this race. So that was absolutely perfect. Another piece of contact coming in behind us from Gods there. But up into P2 of the race straight off the start there. We really can't complain too much about that in this one, because I was a little bit worried, obviously, CK was just able to make the breakaway off the start of the final race of the championship there. But luckily, it doesn't look like it's going to be quite that textbook off the start of this one there. We run wide into the grass through the next couple of corners there. You see Typhon up in the lead there, making a little bit of a mistake, getting caught out over the grass as well there as we head down the hill in towards the final few corners of lap 1 here. And once again, Typhon just taking a little bit of grass, trying to take some risky lines here and there, trying to extract as much pace out of the car as possible. They're lighting up the rear wheels as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of the opening lap here. And are we able to open up any sort of opportunity through the final couple of turns that we go there, trying to get nice and early on the power there. But actually that time around, Typhon very, very early on the power there and not really opening up any sort of opportunity there. But we have survived the first lap of the race there. A little bit of lag coming from the Elgato there as we head down the hill onto lap 2 here. You can see Typhon just running a little bit wide through that first corner there. We're going to get up the inside, try and park it on the apex there. Don't allow the switchback move on the exit of the corner there. And yeah, that is us now up into the lead of the sprint race there. Last to first in just over a lap there. Really happy with that one there as we head out onto the back straight once more though. And yeah, like I said, this series really, really good fun on the whole, you know. Definitely at the start of the championship, it was really, really close between myself, Welty, and CK there. But after that, you know, after a rough round at Road Atlanta, obviously we took the double. I think it was at Le Mans Bugatti round 2. And then since then, obviously, it's just been a fairly consistent showing from ourselves throughout the whole of the championship here. Been really, really happy with the progress we've made in this Formula 4 car. Because I'll be honest, after the opening round of the championship, I was lacking a little bit of confidence with this thing. Definitely felt we still had some good pace and that we could fight for the title. But yeah, unfortunately, just those first couple of rounds were really, really rusty there. But yeah, going into even I should say round 2 and of the championship at Le Mans Bugatti, that was obviously a couple of really, really good races there as well. We took all the points possible from that one there. Spa again was a little bit hit and miss. Obviously, we took the race win in the first race there, and unfortunately, I think it was only 4th place in the second one. I think that was we missed out on the podium back at Road Atlanta as well. There, round 7 and 8 at the Nürburgring, they were 2 really action-packed races as well. Those 2 were quite good fun at the end of the day. Then round 9 and 10 at Mugello, obviously a little bit of controversy towards the end, but it was still a good race nonetheless. Obviously, we missed out last week at Suzuka. Unfortunately, I was out, so couldn't race that one, but obviously we had the drop round, so it didn't really matter in the end there. So obviously we just used that as our drop round, so we didn't lose any points to CK there. But as we head down in towards the final couple of corners here at Brands Hatch, it is going to be another double race victory to finish the season on a high there. That was exactly what we needed at the end of the day. Through the final corner, side by side with Rosenquist there. Actually, we did, yeah, I'm not too sure what that was between us at the finish line there. But yeah, really, really good way to finish off the championship there with the double race victory. We managed to sneak into the 27s as well with the fastest lap of the night there. But it is Typhon that came through for P2 ahead of CK there with Apex in 4th, Wastill in 5th, and the Rosenquist rounds out the order as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this series as well. It's been greatly, greatly appreciated, the support shown throughout the entirety of this championship. League title, what's that, number 13, I think, if I'm not mistaken, as well there on our 4th in LCR. Does now make it our joint most successful league once again. I think it might make it our most successful league actually at the end of the day there. Yeah, our 14th league title as well. We really can't complain about that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Do get yourself subscribed if you're new around here. At the time of recording this, I don't actually know what LCR are going to be doing next, but I'm pretty sure we will be racing. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys next time for another video.